Hey everybody, Emily here. How's it going? Nice to see you. I see the chat is already going, and I'm delighted. So today I'm going to be making some strawberry shortcake, and I'm going to be making it from over here. Last time people mentioned that they couldn't really see what I was cooking, so I thought maybe we would try this out. If you can't hear me, let me know, and maybe my lovely assistant Dan can do some camera work and such. I'm also going to just close this. You don't need to see my teas. So today, I think I just said this, but we're going to be making a strawberry shortcake, and we're specifically going to be making strawberry shortcake using the recipe that my mom would use. So I'm going to be making her tea biscuits and a little bit of macerated strawberries and some whipped cream.
I'm very excited for this situation.
Yeah, Dan's going to be managing the chat because I can't read it from here, and I'm just going to start out by making some whipped cream. How's everybody doing today?
Beth is here, and Romy Z is here, and default user is here, and Mo N is here. Default user is coming from St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, all my favorite people.
How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's faring well, and at least what has been here an unusual weather couple weeks.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm using my balloon whisk. Hopefully this will not be... I hope to have the whipped cream already done before we started, but I was running a little behind, so sorry if it's noisy. This is going to take a minute. But this is a very fast recipe, and I actually have a swap ready to go, so we should be able to get this to like 30 minutes. I have my oven preheating to 450. And like I said, I'm just going to be making this with like kind of a standard tea biscuit type thing. You can also totally make strawberry shortcake with like cake, angel food cake. People do it with a lot of different things, but I really like the biscuit because I like that it's a little more like savory and a little bit more like, it kind of gives you that like salty sweet feeling, you know? Which is positive for me.
We have a happy belated Canada Day.
Oh, thank you.
And a hello, great to see you stream. And I hate you guys.
Hi. It was great to see you on the stream. Thanks for being here. And again, sorry that this is going to be like not the most exciting few moments, but we're going to talk in the meantime. Dan and I went out for Canada Day here in the city. There's a Canadian bar called the Canuck, which I'd otherwise never been to, but which has like Labatt beer, which is sort of like the Bud Light of Canada, and then like all sorts of Canadian treats. Like we had poutine, and we had their butter tarts. And they have Nanaimo bars, and they have like Canadian candy bars. Like I tried with Frank that one time, which is really exciting for me. I hadn't been to a bar that actually had that kind of stuff. This is gonna take so long.
Do you want me to take over, or can I?
No, I just wanted to. Let me see.
I think
It'll
there's
like a few minutes.
There's general support to make an ASMR video from the sound of you beating the cream.
Excellent.
And default user loves strawberry shortcake, but is going to be making a strawberry cheesecake pie tomorrow with the family extravaganza.
Very nice.
And
oh yeah, what's everybody doing for the 4th on that note? Assuming some of you are in the United States of America. I know that default user is.
Yes, so yeah, folks want to regale us with your Canada Day or July 4th Day celebrations if you're having them. Romy Z, however, is calling in from Canberra, Australia.
Oh.
So their independence, their sort of national holidays until later. So
yeah.
But
well, you'd know that. Dan lived in Australia for like 6 months.
Yeah, I was in Melbourne for 6 months and really missed it. I want to go back soon. And hey, Mo, thank you. We had some. Mo was saying that the skies were not very clear and we couldn't see the CN Tower for a couple of days. We've had some
similar like Blade Runner-esque experience here with the wildfire smoke. So I hope everybody's staying safe air quality wise, AQI wise. And I'm gonna actually set this. No, Emily, stick to it. Stick to it, Miss, please.
And Beth is opening a new lab.
Ooh, cool.
Beth, remind us what kind of science do you do? What's the new lab going to be for? Let's see.
I suppose I could probably use.
Do you want to show the consistency of what
It's just a little frothier than it was before right now. You can see it's starting to kind of get together.
Oh, that's right. Beth is a medical microbiologist.
Can you see from here? Only a little bit, really. It's just sort of creamy, right?
Yeah.
If you want to walk it over, you could, but there's really not that much to see at this juncture. Why don't I put this aside? Because I can always keep doing that later.
I don't want me to do it in the meantime.
Do you want to?
I'll keep at it.
Whisk to the side while I.
Nothing fell. It's good.
All good. And then I'm just gonna prep my strawberries. So for this, we're just gonna macerate some strawberries, which just means we're gonna mash them up with some white sugar. You can totally get creative with strawberry shortcake. I don't know if anyone's tried that already, but I think it's really fun to toss in some like different herbs and spices and that kind of thing if you want to. Today I'm just going to be making a complete classic version. We'll put a little bit of vanilla in the whipped cream, but other than that, strawberries, sugar. I mean, great summer strawberries are so good that you really don't need to add anything as far as I'm concerned. You could do a little lemon zest, I suppose. I've done that before with those strawberries. Everything's good. There's no losing when it comes to strawberry shortcake, as I always say.
I heard the plan for today's live stream. I said, boy.
Yeah. I don't even really need to be. I could just mash these with a fork, but I'm just cutting them down a little bit smaller so it's easier.
So yeah, what is the term again for the where you're going to get the strawberries?
We're gonna macerate them. Macerate. Macerate.
What does that mean?
Just that. It's so you mash them with sugar, and then they should get kind of like they create their own delicious berry syrup. Kind of becomes like a berry mush, like you'd see on an IHOP pancake, but better.
There's a suggestion from Roby Z about putting the cream in the freezer to chill and then come back to it.
It's already chilled, so it went in cold, but we could put it in the freezer and then come back to it. Do you want to do that?
Oh, I'm at it. I think I'm making some headway here. And then Mo says, I'm loving the tea biscuits as a base. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I really think it's nice to kind of step away from it being super sweet, especially because you want to you're gonna macerate the strawberries in sugar, and then the whipped cream gets a little bit of sugar in it. Which we could also add that in, I suppose. I didn't put the sugar in, but
do you have sugar?
You could do just like a tablespoon.
Pass it on over.
I'm coming around a little bit. Yeah, macerating releases the water. That's right, Romy. It creates like I said, like a nice syrupy kind of consistency, which is why we want to do it first, so it has some time to get married. While we bake our biscuits. All right, so I'm just gonna do like a tablespoon and a half, roughly, of sugar on here. As with so many things, I think you can just kind of feel it with your heart. And then I'm just going to use a fork. Get my knife out of here. Use a fork to mash these up a little. This is something that my mom always made growing up, and still makes sometimes, which I'm a big fan of.
What was your first time having a strawberry shortcake?
I have no idea. I have a lot of very early memories of strawberries. There's a lot of strawberry fields in Eastern Canada, so a lot of pictures of me as a little girl are in
I actually have one such picture. If
saved to your phone.
One day I'll make it public.
Yeah, I used to go strawberry picking. Actually, you know what? I think my very first memory of strawberries is eating so many of them that I puked. I got out of a car and puked all strawberries, but it was, sorry for the image, but
sounds alarming.
It was all right. Everyone knew what was going on there. I just couldn't stop eating the berries because they were so good, like a bear.
I'm glad that you haven't fallen off strawberries as a result of that experience.
Yeah, I really thought that, because there's a lot of things that I kind of had a long time aversion to because of similar experiences, like carrots, but strawberries, nothing could keep me away. Cool. Strawberries macerating. I'm going to set these aside. And I'll take over the whipped cream if you want to read the chat.
All right.
The biscuits will only take a minute, so don't worry. And I've got my butter chilling for that. Oh, this is looking great, Dan.
Are you doing a good job?
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
All
it's
right.
already almost to soft peaks.
All right, let's see. Beth is doing really cool things. That's really neat, Beth, about the new lab in Virginia, and she's getting some snaps in the crowd.
Excellent.
Deservedly.
Yeah.
Romy Z says salt also releases the water, and Mo says through osmosis. And default user says my mother made larger cakes with drop biscuit dough, and we would get the wedges. And then Romy Z says did that with Thin Mints. They ate the whole thing. Thin Mints are the ultimate. You can't stop eating them once you open one. The sleeves are I feel like a suggestion that never pans out. And then YouTube user wants to know if you're an expert now.
I don't know. No, I think still not really. And I feel like, I like the spirit of no expert for this channel because I like doing things like making that party hammering with Gabby and like doing things that I don't necessarily. I'm really enjoying sharing my like family Canadian recipes. I hope you guys are liking that. I don't know. They're not like the most successful videos I do, to be honest, but I think that they're really great and you should watch them if you haven't. But I think that's probably the only field in which I'm loosely an expert.
I know I've asked you this before, but why is it that do you think that Canadians are so good at dessert?
I think there's a lot of fruit. There's a lot of time in the darkness and cold. And I think that combination leads us to create desserts.
Comfort food?
Yeah, I think it's like comfort food is big and when it's cold, Like the Midwest has a lot of like big comfort food, like stick to your ribs kind of stuff. I mean, I guess the South does too. Everybody likes comfort food. But I think we really like our dessert.
Default user like me enjoys the Thin Mints frozen.
This is me coming over to show you that this is basically whipped cream now. Yay! I'm going to give it a little more whipping and then I'm going to put it in the fridge.
And Beth says date bars for the win.
Oh, they're so good. If you guys haven't tried making the date squares yet, if you haven't had time or the inclination, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Those date bars lasted about 15 minutes after that video was done.
We had some friends over who kept eating them, which was really a nice compliment to me. Like for me, I felt really glad that people who had never tried them before loved them.
Mo N is saying something you said before about how tea drop biscuits are so good because they can either be savory or sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Either application works. This is now a stiff peak, I would say, and I'm putting it in the fridge until we're ready for it. Where am I going to put this?
Do you want to hold it again?
No. I'll leave it in here.
There's love for Canadian content and Canadian treats. And Beth says, we Polish peeps make similar. I actually don't know much about Polish desserts, but I would love to.
Yeah, same. I would love to hear some Polish dessert recipes and like what are some of the key ingredients in a lot of Polish desserts? Like I feel like Canadian, it's a lot of like apples, dates, and then just like marshmallows or like fruit.
I feel like reaching back into my family's ancestry of recipes. I feel like our blintzes, Beth, a feature. Similar fruits with other dried fruits, but I think I remember like there's like cheese blints, but like there's also like sweeter blintzes that.
Yeah, well, and people make like sweet cheese too, right? Like sweetened cheeses, like cannolis, but different. Sorry, just giving these an extra whack.
There are a few good Polish restaurants nearby where we get our occasional stuffed cabbage fixes and sausages and stuff like that. Lots of apples, berries, lemons, blintzes, yes, and farmer's cheese.
Nice. That sounds great. Oh, I didn't put any vanilla paste in that. Well, we'll do that at the end. Okay, moving on. Biscuit time. This is easy. I'm going to put this over here because I'm going to roll stuff out on it in a minute. I should wipe it down also.
Do you have a rolling pin or should I?
No, I'm not going to roll it out like that.
Oh.
It's not that kind of rolling out. Sorry. I took a food safety course online from New York State Health. I'm just not necessarily applying it here in this moment. But just so you know, I'm working on it.
Default user says there are 3 Canadian channels that they follow. Besides this one, there's Curiosity Incorporated in Edmonton, and the Hockey Guy in Abbotsford, BC. Do you know?
No, I don't know either of them. But I'm East Coast Canada, so I think the only Canadian channel I follow is Matty Matheson.
Yeah, Matthew
because he's from New Brunswick, where my dad is from, and where I spent much of my childhood. What was I looking for? Butter and milk. But let me measure everything out first.
While you're doing that, Beth says that she could send us a really good gawunki recipe, which is like
We're sold.
Sold, yeah.
Yeah.
Send it on over. We will make it.
All right. So to make these Tbsp, I'm putting in to my bowl.
And Ravenclaw Nimbus is here. And says hi.
Ravenclaw Nimbus, 2 cups of flour. Just regular all-purpose flour today. Today, always, for these biscuits. I don't know why I said today. I guess you could use like whole wheat or something. I've never tried it.
What are the difference? Not to distract you too much, but like, would you ever use bread flour for?
No, because bread flour is like about like it's like stiffer and develops gluten better and that kind of thing, which is the opposite of what you want for like a biscuit or a pie.
I want to do crumbly.
And then I'm doing, I did 2 tablespoons before. I'm gonna do 2.5 tablespoons of sugar. No, Emily, don't mess with a good thing. It's perfect the way it is. 2 tablespoons of sugar. I'm gonna do 4 teaspoons of baking powder, which is a lot, but not that much in the biscuit world, I feel like. Plus, it means that you can make these anytime, no matter how stressed or under pressure you are, because it gives a lot of lift.
Beth says that bread flour also has too much protein in it.
That's what I was trying to say.
You have a request to do a poutine video.
I would love to do a poutine video. Teaspoon of salt.
You did. There was one poutine video you did for Epicurious, but it was.
Oh yeah, technically you can get a poutine recipe that I have from Epicurious. It's just my weeknight poutine, which actually that written recipe is on my website. Remember, but it's just my use frozen fries and like packet gravy. But like it works, if it's a Thursday night and you're tired and you just want poutine desperately, it's as good as a lot of like late night shops, which is most of how we eat poutine in Canada anyway.
Have you followed, or do you know Yolanda Gamp or Christine Rotenberg? So we'll have to give those a look, Romeezy.
Yeah, I'll have to check those out. Who are they? Tell me more about them. Also, I'm mixing my dry ingredients together just a little bit, and then I'm going to add my butter in.
And we are making, for folks who just joined, or making, it's already in the chat, we're making strawberry shortcake tonight.
Yeah, so I'm actually making Tbsp for strawberry shortcake right now. I've got my strawberries macerating over here and some sugar, and you can see that it's already started to release the water as we were talking about. Actually, I don't know if you can see that. Do you want to? Well, you get the idea. Yeah, you tilt it and show them a little. We need to light that side of the room somehow at some point.
I'm on it. Hang on. We have the technology.
And in the meantime, I'll tell you I have 1/3 cup of butter that I've already cubed and kept in the fridge in order to keep it maximum cold for this.
What's that?
And for this, I'm going to use my hands, clean hands, and I'm just going to press the cubes down like I'm squishing them. This is something that you see a lot for pie dough recipes, but I feel like it works really well for biscuits too.
What does the squeezing do? Basically,
you're trying to break up the butter clumps without letting them warm up too much, and also without fully incorporating it, because you want a flaky dough. Like the butter cubes basically in the oven let off steam, which creates the rise, which is
cool.
how you get a flaky dough.
Mm.
And that's your science lesson for today. I feel like everyone who watches this channel knows that already, but just in case you didn't.
Reminder is always helpful.
Yeah. This is my favorite technique for making flaky doughs, is just to get in and squish. Also because it's kind of fun.
Tactilely pleasant.
Yeah, and it's I can make sure I can kind of feel when there's big clumps, and then it's just kind of done,
Yeah.
a lot of fighting it. I feel like I've done a lot of different techniques on this channel over the last 3 years or however long I've had it going. But this is the one I've settled on.
What's like an example of another technique you might use?
If you watch one of my oldest videos, there's a vegan scone recipe where I use forks to do it because I was worried that my hands were too hot.
That makes sense, actually, because those are very sensitive to temperature.
Yeah, but I think that ultimately, like, there, that's already done.
This time of year, your fingers probably aren't that much different than the room temperature.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like you just don't want to heat it up too much because if it melts, you'll get like not a flaky risey dough and instead just sort of a thick cake.
Beth says that she occasionally makes fake poutine with mozzarella because it's hard to find curd in Virginia.
Yeah, I understand. I actually like don't make poutine unless I can get curds, or I don't eat poutine unless it's got curds for the most part. But I do understand that position entirely because, like, I don't know where you'd even start in Virginia to get it. But like, we go to Maine often enough in Nova Scotia that I don't have to. I don't have to, you know, compromise. All right, and then the last thing I'm doing is I'm actually using oat milk because it's what we have because I'm a little lactose intolerant. So we use butter a lot, but not so much like full on. I mean, I made regular whipped cream, so I don't know. It's what we have and it's what we use more of. So this should technically be 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons, but to be honest, I usually just go a little over 3/4 of a cup, and it's never failed me. But if you had to measure it out, if you've never done this before, 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons. And then what I do is I just do most of it, mix it, and then or I do like half of it, mix it, and then do the other half to make sure I don't have entirely the wrong dough texture.
Let's see.
Oh, is my? I keep muting my phone. It's the computer has the sound on.
Default user wants to know if you've ever tried out or thought of trying out for a TV cooking show.
I would try out for a TV cooking show if it came up. I don't know. I mean, it's yeah, I would try out if it came up. I guess hasn't
happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet.
Well, Yolanda, so default user is stepping in to tell us who those other video folks were. So Yolanda is on the TV show Crime Scene Kitchen.
Ooh. I've heard of that. I haven't actually watched it, but I've heard of it.
And Christine owns Hollow Taco Nail Polish. Hollow Taco.
Oh, I've heard of them. Again, I've heard of them. I haven't checked them out. Okay. Oh, and then so this is what you're seeing is. Do you want to just put that on like focus or something because it's killing me?
I don't think I know how to do that.
Here, I'll do it. I have a fantasy basketball league that continue to text throughout the year, if we're being totally honest, and sometimes they text a lot. So I'm just gonna put that on Do Not Disturb.
Emily is medium in that basketball league.
Yeah, I have hit a solid 5th place pretty much every year I've played. Just technique-wise, quickly, while we're doing this. So I have this now as sort of like a scraggly, not quite dough, and that's sort of where I want it. I'm going to move this aside. And I'm going to go here. Bring my paper towel with me. So I've got a surface that stays still. And I'm going to, while it's still not like fully together, pull it out and then push it together. If that makes sense. Might not, but you'll see. I'm going to just kind of like get it into like a loose pile. And then I'm going to start, not quite kneading it, but like folding it from there.
Beth wants to know if you have a P.O. box.
I do have
and
a
she
P.O.
does.
box.
I'll post it in the chat.
Yeah, I used to have it pinned on my Instagram. It's on my website also. If anyone's watching this 5 years from now for some reason and is wondering about my P.O. box.
Let's see.
I think it's 5771 in Queens, New York.
Yeah.
And then the zip code you'll have to do 11105.
Yes. Good memory.
Thanks. Got the mind of an elephant. And then can we see what I'm doing here? I feel like none of this is like earth shattering here, but I'm basically I brought it into a clump and then I'm kind of folding it. and then pushing it down, and then folding it and pushing it down. And I really only want to do this like 8 times. That's
Yeah, you can see the cube.
the cube.
The cube. Resistance is futile. Sorry. Aldi's does cheese curd apparently, so that's good to know.
Good to know.
Very good. Is it the same owners as Trader Joe's?
Aldi's? Oh, maybe actually.
Um,
I'm gonna give this one more fold, and then I think I'm gonna start shaping.
and Beth, we agree that sometimes you just need the poutine fix.
Yeah. That's life. So when I did these earlier, I stopped and put them in the fridge for a minute, but we're just going to go straight into baking them because I don't want to hold you here forever. But if you had the time, put them in the fridge for 10 minutes just to make sure you get extra cold butter for that extra lift. And you can use a bench scraper too. I just already have my knife out. But I'm just going to chop these into like squares or rectangles. Depending on my day, I'll do this will either make 6 or 8 biscuits. Today we're doing 8, just little guys. But if you want the big boys, let's cut it into fewer biscuits. Oh, that's warm. Okay, fast.
Romy Z, while you're doing that, call out the fact that I am a Star Trek nerd.
Yes,
so.
Dan is a big Star Trek nerd, and I am also a fan. There's a Star Trek podcast that I'm sort of like internet friends with that you should check out. It's
really?
I think it's called Newbie Star Trek, but they're great.
Oh, nice.
They're around. Hi guys.
Give them a listen for sure.
All right, biscuits are going in. The original recipe says 12 to 15 minutes, but I left them in for 13 earlier, and they got a little darker than I would have liked. So I'm gonna say 11 to 12 minutes, but it probably depends on your oven.
Our oven runs hot.
Runs hot, indeed. All right. Assistant Dan started to timer because I have butterfingers.
You got it.
I'm gonna wash my hands.
How long? We're gonna do 11 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, that timer has begun.
Excellent.
Anyone else have any other traditional summer dessert favorites? When not eating Emily's strawberry shortcake, for example, I can't help locating the nearest blueberry pie.
Yeah, Dan's a big blueberry pie person. I really like. What do I like? I like all of it. I like all of it. Who am I kidding? But I really like a strawberry shortcake. Has anyone ever had a wild strawberry? They grow wild in Eastern Canada, but I think lots of other places too. And they are just the freaking best. They're just like tiny little strawberries. Highly recommend if you ever get the chance. If you're ever out walking and you see a tiny strawberry that doesn't seem like it would be
poisonous.
Like if it's in a toxic location, obviously don't. But if you're in a nice place where it seems like you could probably eat it, pick it, bring it home, give it a little rinse just in case, and eat that thing.
We've got some strong recommendations for other delicious summer desserts, including lemon bars from Beth, key lime pie from default user, peach pie from Beth. Oh man, I can't even imagine how much would be delicious. I don't think I've had that before. Romy Z pavlova with the summer berries.
Oh, we love
on Christmas
pavlova.
Day. It was just too hot for plum pudding.
Right. And guess what? With the magic of television, here are some finished biscuits. So I'll bring these close so you can see them.
They're extra magical because I did not eat them while
Yay, biscuits.
despite their being within arm's reach.
Here, let me show you a good one up close.
Need some extra
Ta-da! These are great biscuits. I'm a big fan. Oh, thank you, Dan. Wait, come up above. Yeah, biscuits. Nice swap. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna get to plating these while the other ones bake. To do that, I'm gonna grab my whipped cream, formerly whipping cream, now whipped.
Whipped.
To this, I'm gonna add a little vanilla paste and a little bit of salt. And then I'm just gonna plate it all up.
Usually I've used vanilla extract. What's vanilla paste?
Vanilla paste is like vanilla extract with the little bean bits.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's great. I wouldn't normally have it, but my lovely sister-in-law Jennifer had a bunch of extra that she wasn't using, so she offered it to us.
Shout out to Jen.
Yeah, thanks, Jen.
She's a hero and the best.
Yeah. So she was like, "Hey, you want to just take one of these?" And I said, "Of course I do." So you'll be able to actually see like a little bit of bean pod in here. Just do a little tiny bit.
Ooh, it's kind of syrupy, like molasses.
Yeah. And like I said, I'll just do like a sprinkle of, I have kosher salt here in my little tub. Little salt tub.
Ravenclaw Nimbus says Jen the hero, which is true.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Jen the hero.
We'll tell her that and she'll be pleased. Is it
I might have to re-whip it a little bit.
Yeah. Do you have we have a smaller
yeah, I have a secondary whisk. It's still soft piece. It's so warm in here. I don't know about you where you guys are, but it is hot in New York right now.
Humid.
It's humid.
Default user says the paste has become popular recently.
Yeah, it's true. I think that the paste is having a moment, to be honest. There's a lot of like vanilla bean companies that are out and about and really sort of like letting their voice be heard. And it is nice. I think that, having the little like flecks is very like, oh, look, it's got real vanilla in it.
That's what I was going to ask you. Does it feel like, having used it now, I guess a couple times, does it feel like a discovery to you, or is it like something that we should have been using? Like, where has this been all our lives, or is it a fad?
That's a great question.
You don't want to call out your hot take.
No, I think that it is great. I think it's more expensive, and I think that the beans are even more expensive. And there is a reason for that. They're really hard to grow. They're like tiny, and like there's a lot that happens to get them to like our table. But also, like, I think that a good vanilla extract is still great. And if you could get the paste, great. Also delicious. Like, all the more reason to, like, I mean, yes, do it if you have it, but, like, sorry, I licked my finger. We're the only ones eating it. I know it ruins the illusion, but...
Baffled Toast says, and Ravenclaw are in both places where it's very hot. Alicia says, you're the best.
Aw, you're the best.
You're the best, Alicia. Axe says June live stream got canceled. Big Buster canceled Culture Emily because of her ketchup bias.
Yeah, honestly, I just was not feeling up to it that day. I was not feeling great.
We had a very crazy June of traveling.
I'll probably just break this open. I don't think I even need to use a knife.
Oh yeah, look at that. Let's see. Yeah, default user. It's also been hot and humid. Problem is, Beth says the problem is over farming. It takes a lot more vanilla beans to make paste than to make extract.
Oh, interesting.
That's interesting. And I don't know. I've never had a problem with vanilla extract, so like, why not do a more sustainable thing?
I guess like for me, it's like I find it to be familiar, and it's like it's good and it's easy.
Yeah.
So, it's paste is nice as a special treat, but you don't need it unless maybe special occasions. You know what I mean?
Romy Z says to try Hella Vanilla.
Oh, Hela, yeah.
Hela Vanilla.
Yeah, that's the one that sponsors Claire Sapphitz's channel, which is I would love to try. I know that they're supposed to be like very nice people and like good eggs. I don't know. I mean, what do I know? I haven't actually met them, but that's what I've heard.
Very good.
I think they're trying to do like good things for the vanilla industry. I don't know. Okay, so I'm just spooning out some strawberries and juice onto these biscuits.
That's delicious.
Yay. A little extra in front here. And then I guess I'll grab another spoon. Why not? We got a dishwasher. It's a half-size dishwasher, but it works.
Kind of works.
Now let's get a big old dollop of whipped cream.
Claire Sappitz is getting some love in the chat.
She's the best.
Ravenclaw Nimbus says, I used to watch her videos on Bon Appetit. But
Yeah.
she has her own channel, so you can watch her now, too.
Yeah, you should go watch her own channel, too.
She's got a good cat, though, sometimes interferes
She's got
with her.
several cats, I think.
That sometimes try to interfere with her cooking.
All right.
They're nice to have around, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Actually, yeah, she's great. You should watch it. Lots of cats on there.
I was trying to remember if she was the one you named your night guard after, but it's...
No, that's Sophia. Sophia Night Guard. I have Sophia Night Guard. My like
for her teeth at night. But Sophia Nygaard is another good YouTuber for us to watch.
All right, here I'm gonna bring this over so you can see what it looks like. So we have a nice soft peek. Oh, do you want to flashlight me?
Yeah, I gotcha. Coming up.
Oh, you love the kettle? Thank you. I love the kettle too. So here you see a tea biscuit covered in strawberries, juice, and beautiful soft whipped cream with like a little flecks of vanilla in it. I think it'll be delicious. You want to try it?
Yeah. Sure do. Is this a fork situation or?
Yeah. You want to grab a fork?
Do I look crazy from when I got rained on earlier?
Oh yeah, poor Dan had to go out and it was pouring out.
Oh man, it was really good.
And you see what I mean though? It's not like, because of the tea biscuit, it's like sweet but also like salty. Like it leans towards the savory. You can also do, I always thought it'd be interesting. I have like in my notes app to try this with like a little pepper or like pink peppercorn.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I'm a little pepper
enthusiast.
So I'm always looking for places to put pepper. But I feel like you can put a little pink peppercorn and basil in here and make something like kind of funky out of it. But there's no reason. It's delicious as it is.
Tea biscuits are perfect.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think that this was probably my grandmother or someone in my mom's family's recipe before my mom. It might be her original recipe. I don't know. But this is definitely a family biscuit recipe. And I do recommend giving it a shot because it is so easy, as you saw. And also, like, delicious and fluffy and, like, just the best.
And you don't have to whip your own cream. You can go get store cream.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so biased towards hand whipped cream now. I feel like it tastes so much better than, like, a Cool Whip. But to each their own. It is a lot of work.
Let's see.
What's happening in the shop?
Oh, it also says we're getting like suggestions for ice cream.
Ooh, yeah.
And Aleppo pepper.
Oh yeah, that could be really interesting. Don't forget the buns in the oven. Yeah.
I got my
timer going. Thank you.
We've got
Let's work with an electric
46
hand
seconds left.
Yeah, we'll check it in 42 seconds now. Cool is better than the one in the can, in my opinion. Interesting. I don't know. I guess I haven't really had either in a long time because I don't typically eat a lot of dairy. So when I do the like hand whipped cream. It's true that an electric mixer would be easier. And if I'd thought of that earlier, I could have just done that. But it's nice. I don't know. I think I like putting the effort in, but I don't recommend it necessarily. I didn't get any lessons from NC. Thank you. I see your question. I didn't get any lessons directly from other Epicurious chefs, but I have spent a lot of time like hanging around Frank. I've been on his channel, and if you don't already watch Proto Cooks, you totally should go over there. I feel like I've just done a lot of cooking through the Pro Novice thing, and then also what did I do? I guess I took one knife skills class just because people kept saying I was a danger to myself.
I'll say I have learned how to make a number of dishes from Frank's channel, and he not only those look so good. Also. They're all like those also. But Frank is the best, and his videos are super easy to follow, and I've incorporated some of those into our cooking menu.
Yeah. The other thing I've done is just like read a lot of books and like listen to podcasts and stuff like that, which I do recommend if you're like looking to improve as a cook.
Do you list those podcasts and books when you come across them in your newsletter?
No,
maybe that should be a new
well,
feature
sometimes I'll put like things that I found interesting to read or like videos that I thought were interesting in my newsletter. This is a good point. If you're not already following my newsletter, check out the Kitchen Dispatch because that is the place you're most likely to get my recommendations of what I'm actually like reading and listening to in terms of like growing as a cook. And then I spend a lot of time with the other Epicurious chefs. I've eaten at some of their restaurants and that kind of thing, which has been really delicious. They're all super talented. You should go if you're ever in New York to any of their restaurants.
Axis for spray whipped cream because you can spray it, you can have it for dessert and then spray it later into your mouth at 3 a.m., which I support.
This is the truth. I honestly, when I did buy pre-made, I bought the spray can just because I find it very satisfying. But I hear you on the Cool Whip. Maybe it is better. I haven't had Cool Whip in a long time. I should also say I'm drinking a pastèque, which is watermelon LaCroix, and I feel like this flavor
goes well with
this, and also is is great. But I feel like it's totally one of the flavors where like LaCroix got the reputation of being like a whisper of watermelon. Like it's so subtly flavored of watermelon, but pretty good.
Ravenclaw Nimbus saw your video with Gabby.
Oh yeah, I love doing videos with Gabby. I think she'll be back sometime in the next little bit, and I'm also going to have a few more Epicurious guests coming up sooner rather than later. So stay tuned for that.
Janet says that Chef Jean says that if you whip your own cream, you burn exactly the same amount of calories as you eat in the dessert.
I totally ascribe to that principle.
and there's encouragement from Beth for another Frank Emily or Emily Lorenzo collaboration.
Yeah, I think Frank and I are gonna. I mean, on the down low, Frank and I are gonna probably shoot something together in the next little bit. So
stay tuned.
Yeah,
and
that'll be good.
And folks want to know if you grow your own herbs or anything like that. We tried,
I've tried. We don't have a backyard or anything. We just have like windows. And I know that people make it work with that, but the longest I've kept a plant alive that you could no, that's not true. I kept some non-edible plants alive a little bit longer, but like I kept a basil alive for most of last summer, I feel like. Or most of a summer. I don't know if it was last year.
That was the basil plant that had the mysterious disappearing snail.
Yeah, there was a snail, and then it was gone in our house, which is very unsettling.
We saw the snail. We took a picture of it. We didn't know how the snail could have possibly gotten there, and then it was gone. There was no
Never
snail.
found it again. It made me feel insane. I'm really glad I got a photo of it because very unsettling. Not great news for like this house.
There's a snail around.
That a snail can just like disappear into it.
Yeah. There's a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah,
Adventure Time snail.
Yeah. Maybe he's a time traveler. I don't know. What do we really know about the snail population?
And then Dewan wants to know if there's a video with Saul.
Video with Saul? No. Although I'd love to.
So
yeah, I would love to work with him. I also would love to go to his restaurant. That's another one that we haven't been to yet, but I really want to go. He has Cantina Rooftop in Midtown. But yeah, I'd love to do something with him. It just has not come up. I've done stuff with him on Epicurious a little bit, but he works a lot. He's out there like working hard. Not the rest of us aren't, but I feel like he's been like making TV appearances and stuff. So he's like, he's big and important.
He seems like the best too.
Yeah, every single person I've worked with at Epicurious is honestly a treat, a delight. Really nice people.
Ravenclaw Nimbus says there are products you can buy to grow herbs successfully in your own house without light.
I am aware. Have not gotten them. Have put it on my gifts for Emily list that I've sent to Dan.
Oh yes.
But every time a birthday or Christmas comes around,
Ravenclaw Nimbus, if you want to post in the chat your favorite one, I can incorporate that into my gifts for Emily list.
I will say my mom had one and liked it but didn't love it, which I think took me off the scent for a while, but it would be nice. It would really just be nice to have a backyard or like a balcony or something though, to like really give them a good life.
And Beth, yeah. Well, I don't know, it's decriminalized in the ordinance.
What'd she say?
Oh, they were joking about like the herbs being marijuana.
Why grow when I can just buy?
Yeah, right.
In theory, legally now.
Yes.
One that might be able to do. I'm gonna eat a little more of this. This is super good. Not to like toot my own horn, but toot toot.
That was good.
No.
I ate mine. Is
no, I didn't. This food is clean. I've still got like more than half left.
Go back in for more.
I appreciate that.
I have to pace myself.
You can have some of this one, maybe. I probably shouldn't eat this much dairy as much as I love it. Yeah. And more pudding. Well, friends, I think that's about it. Do you have any other unanswered questions or anything that I'm skipping over?
No, but Ravenclaw Nimbus says, I see nothing wrong with tooting your own horn. at least you know how to be proud of yourself. So I think that's a good note.
Thanks.
Everyone should be proud of themselves. I think everybody on
Yeah.
this chat should toot their own horn.
Yeah. You know what? If you can go away and toot your horn, I believe in all of you. Anyway, thanks so much for being here. I highly recommend giving this recipe a shot. I'll type it up just so you don't have to actually rewatch everything to find it. I hope you have a great 4th of July for those who are celebrating. Happy belated Canada Day for those who care about that. And for the rest of you, have a nice July. I hope you have a good week. My monthly newsletter will be coming on the next week or so. So if you're not signed up and you want to get that, you should sign up for that. What else? I think that's it. Thanks for being here. You're all beautiful and great.
Be well, everyone.
I am really appreciative of you. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. I'm going to end the stream.